Learn how to add elements from the web page layout using jQuery method as well as native JavaScript styling. In this lesson, we're going to be looking at how you can hide HTML elements using jQuery as well as vanilla JavaScript to see the difference between the both methods. Oftentimes, when you are building interactive user interface, you want to make elements do things like disappear, like closing a pop-up window, hiding a loading screener once data arrives, or even collapsing a menu on mobile devices. In jQuery, you can use a built-in shortcut, which is the hide method. Behind the scene, this doesn't actually delete the HTML element from your file. It just simply updates its styling so that it becomes completely invisible and stop taking up space on the screen. So let's look at an example that demonstrates this with jQuery, and we're going to look at that same example in native JavaScript. So what do we need to do first? Let's just add a couple of HTML code here. And the first thing I want to add is a paragraph with an ID of 01. Hello world. ID of 02. Hello laptop. And lastly, ID of 03. Hello desktop. So now that I have these three elements, let's go inside the script tag and see how we can manipulate them in jQuery. So document.ready and then a function. So use the same $sign to select your ID 02.height. Now you can see that this particular element has disappeared from the list of our elements. That is the element with an ID of 02, which has a text content of hello laptop. So this is how you basically hide HTML elements with jQuery. It's just as simple as this. Just what you did now. This is how you hide elements, and you add elements in JavaScript with jQuery. Now, if you now want to do this in a modern browser, you want to do this in modern development, you don't need to go through this process. Just with a single line, you can actually hide your elements. And how does it work? You use the document.getElement by ID. And the ID of what you want to hide is the element with an ID of 2. Then you apply the .style directly, .display, and set it to be equals to none. And this way, you have completely hide your element. Now, if you look closely at what just happened now, for us to be able to hide something as simple as just a single element, we needed to pull in the jQuery library, which can slow down our code or our application per time. But look at the native JavaScript. With just one line of code, we were able to hide whatever elements that we see that we want to hide on our page. And so you can see how easy it is to do hiding of HTML elements using vanilla JavaScript compared to jQuery that depends on pulling an entire library and then working with what you just need out of that library. So the example that we have here just showed us a web page that displayed 3 paragraphs that contains greetings. And then the moment the page finishes loading, the script targets the second paragraph, which is the exact elements that we intend to hide from our list of elements that we have on the web page. And so it immediately invokes the jQuery hide method, and then hello laptop disappears instantly. And then the third paragraph, which is Hello Desktop shift upward to fill that empty space. And exactly the same thing we're able to do with the native JavaScript. So let's look at some few key takeaways from this lesson. Number one, using the display equals to none, using the style dot display equals to none, which both are its elements, and the native style apply completely removes the elements from the visual layout flow. Other elements will automatically move up or shift in order to take over its place. You can see that the same experience is what we got from the JavaScript vanilla method and also from the jQuery method. Another thing is that the elements still exist inside the page HTML structure. I'm talking about the DOM, and can still be read or modified by your script. The user just cannot see it. So if you need to interact with this element, you can still interact with it. It's just hidden from the user, but you can control it if you need to or manipulate it in any way or form. And finally, the style of display directly is lightning fast and doesn't require downloading the heavy jQuery library just to handle basic feasibility toggles. Like I said earlier, that if you need to use a jQuery code in your application, you always need to download that library, and it's a heavy library. And just imagine that for the fact that we want to add a single line of code, I mean, a single element from a list of elements, you have to like pull in the whole bunch of libraries with other dependencies that can actually slow down or weigh down the performance of your application. It's unnecessary. With a native or a vanilla JavaScript that just span one line, you can basically and easily hide your HTML element. So it is a recommended thing that when you come across decisions like this, going with the native JavaScript is an ideal way to save time and also to improve the performance of your application, due to the fact that it does not depend on any external library to be pulled in before it can render the output of whatever you are trying to hide in real time.